Welcome to Dixon Does It. It's cold in here. The boiler's still out. We're making it through. Yeah, it's cold, but yeah. It's Western New York. What are you gonna do? You're cold anywhere you go in the winter. But it's almost middle of March, so we'll make it. Don't worry about us. We ain't got no money either. So today I'm gonna scavenge. We got a door that we gotta I don't feel like digging out a mortise, so I'm going to look for stuff. I'm going to clean up the one side and see what I can find, and I'll show you what I find. If it's anything cool, I'm looking for free things to do. Not free, but, things that don't cost money. Yeah, I'll bring you along for the ride. Well, I'll bring my phone along for the ride. I don't know who you are. You're watching this video. But yeah, let's go do things. All right, so this is the corner that was left this way. I mean, I added stuff on top of it, but these are the doors that we haven't touched. And I think I'm going to grab that bad boy. I'm going to grab that and see if it does anything. If not, I got parts that I can fix it. And I don't know what's behind there. What's behind there? Doesn't look like anything's behind there. This has actually got glass on it. Nice glass door. That might end up being a front door or back door. I already looked in this picnic basket. There's nothing in there. In here, there's some old caulk, washer hoses. I'll make my own hose thing. This is cool. Yeah, I don't have one of those. I do now. There's a bunch of bolts in there. I'll take that down in the basement. Empty bag. Delete. Saws, extension cords. I don't see anything else that's usable. What is that? Magic hair. Ooh, magic. I might plug that in and see what it does. Magic. I'm not seeing anything else that's useful in this bucket. I don't know what that is. Does it look like... Oh, that might be an old electric panel. I know this is. I don't need those. That's just scrap metal. If I'm going to upgrade, I'm keeping it upgraded. I'm not seeing anything else door-wise that can help me, though. Oh, that's an outside lock, too. But what I'm... Oh, here we go. That can go there. Yeah. Look at me finding things. Let's pull these off and go clean them up. Hi, I got a little setup here. Oh, it's a little bouncy. It'll slow down. But this is what I got here today. I got my door lock. And it's really crusty. I mean, like dirt and crap. And this part's broken. I could probably weld it back on. But I really don't feel like it. Where does it go? Right there? Yeah. I might use some JB weld. Or I might just get rid of it. Because I only need this part. I only need the part that's going to open and close the door. I don't have the key for the lock anyways. 2 screws right here. That'll hold it. It'll look just fine. This is a closet door. And if I wanted, I could take the screw on here and just screw it on and it'll look fine. So what are we going to do? So let's take one of these apart. Looks like I got 2 screws. And I got a screwdriver that wants to bend. A better screwdriver? All of my screwdrivers, they're not down here. So, let's see if I can get this. Yeah. No. Oh, this one's coming right out. We got a screw. And I'm going to put it in there. I'll show you why everything's going in there. I'm going to move my coffee, and I'm going to give this a little spritz of the fish oil and let that soak right in. This video is sponsored by coffee. Coffee's good. Whoever knew that you could take beans and make juice out of them and it would make you poop? Who knew? Anyways, did this get anywhere? What's it been, 5 seconds? That should be long enough. If you got a screw that won't move, you can always grab a little help. Help is good. You push down, you squeeze, and you turn. No. Maybe we'll grab the flat end. But you got to keep pressure on the down, because if you don't, you could always strip your screw. It did move. Now it's moving more. I'm going to shave my mustache. Let me just trim it, because there's coffee all up in it now. It just wicks it in. There's another screw. All right. So after 2 screws, and not seeing any on the outside, let's see if we can open this bad mamma jamma up. So I'm going to find a spot to grab and pry. Bloop, pry it open. Oh my lord! Look at the dirt in there. All these spiders were just beetles, and that's gross. Oh my lord. Gross. Let me open this side up. This has got mechanisms that I can't even see. Gross. But you know what? We're going to make it purty. We'll make it better. This doesn't fit in there. What do I got? I got a little screwdriver. Pop. Oh, that one's much cleaner. All right. Very rusty. We're going to fix that. Oh, yeah, my fingernail. Y'all remember my fingernail is black and blue? It's gone. It fell off. I got like half. I'm not going to show you. So, but like it's like half a baby little fingernail now. And it reminds me of that part of Deadpool, the movie, where his hands get cut off and they start growing back and he's got baby hands. It's funny to me. I don't know. So what we got inside here, I know the lighting's not well, but it's just a spring and this little latch that when it spins, it pushes this up or down to get this going. So I'm going to take these pieces off of here, if I can. Okay, so we'll push the spring forward. Pull this out. And this part goes, you can spin these parts if you want the door to go one way or the other. Well, we'll just drop this in here. And we'll drop, maybe we'll clean that up before we put it in. That sounds like a plan. Let's get all this garbage out of here. Hey, leave me a comment. Is this angle good for you guys? Usually I just show you what I have, tell you what I'm going to do, and then show you end product. This video I'm going to show you what I'm doing, and I'm going to comment. Do you like the comments? Do you want me to just work on it and be quiet? Because I do like talking. I like talking. But I don't have to. I can just mute this. So what I'm doing now is I'm just prying this up. I do see a spring right in here. Oh, and if you do projects like this, it's always good to film yourself doing it. You don't have to put it on YouTube. Take pictures, but filming is better because then you can tell yourself, hey, Dixon, this spring comes along here. It's being held up by this little nipple here. Because then you can go, if you can't figure out how to put it back together, you watch your video and you go, oh, that's what I did. You're working on cars, do that too. You know, just it makes life easier. Okay, so I've got this little question mark shaped spring. I'm going to try not to break it as I take it off. Try not to break it. Maybe I'll just take this out and then do it. You guys don't know. My fingers are getting really cold. Okay, so it's out. And this is just like, it's got scissor action, because when you would stick the skeleton key in there, it would push up on this, and then you can yank it out. And then when you take the skeleton key out, this little spring would make this come back down, locking it in place. Things are just very simple back in the day. Guess where this goes? In the jar. We'll get to that in a second. Where is my brush? I had a brush somewhere. Yep, no brush over here. Where is that brush? I found it. Here I come, coming back. This isn't the right brush for the job, but basically any brush will do, right? I'm just going to take the surface rust off, drop it on the floor. You know, that gets a lot of the rust off. We'll drop it in. Get the spider webs off too. You don't want the spider webs in the jar. They're not good for the process that we're going to use. Because what I've got that I'm going to put in this jar, that is gross, is a product called Evaporust. This stuff is great, I'm telling you. I put stuff in there, it'll take some of the paint off too. Not that we want the paint to come off. Is that a weld? I think those are welds. If those welds look nasty, I'll file them down. But if after the Evaporust treatment it looks fine, then we'll be okay. A lot of these parts were not painted. It was a process called Japanning, where they would mix up this goop and put it on there and they would bake it on. It was like an early form of powder coating. And there's a lot of videos out there about Japanning, and some guys actually reproduce things and they'll like re-Japan it. They pick up old ovens or toaster ovens and they'll work it that way. All right, well, this doesn't fit in the jar. So I already have a vat of this going, and I'll show you what's in there. So in the last video, I showed you that, oh, I found another project, and I had to pull this out of there. Got it sitting in the Evaporust. The good thing about the Evaporust is it's non-toxic, and it just eats rust. I mean, you see the water. The rust is in there. So we'll take our big old piece, our big old rusty piece here, and you can share a bath with it. I only have 2 gallons of this, so gallons, quarts, something like that. I'll just fill it up. So you see right now it looks like antifreeze. And here, I'll get a shot of the, nope, that's the back. Evaporust. Super good stuff. I mean, I've used it on a lot of projects. Like these screws here. That's for that thing sitting in there. Those came out pretty nice, huh? I got the rust off of them. Looks great. So that was green. It's already turning brown. That's unfortunately got to sit for like 2 days. I don't know if I can wait that long for these parts. So I may let it sit in there for a little while and then take it to the wire wheel and take it off. But, you know, I know you guys love seeing my face. But I got to fix the door up first. The door's got to be sanded. Yeah. There's 6 layers of paint on everything in this house, so I'm not gonna sand it up first. I'm gonna put the goop on there, let it eat on it, and then scrape it off, you know, all that fun stuff. Elbow grease. You know, I love bacon grease. I don't like the elbow grease. But you know, grease makes the world move. There's other free things to do around the house. Let's see if we can find something else. Here's the other project I was working on. The spray paint wasn't free. I do like that, you know, crackled look on it. But the free part was the elbow grease. I had to get in there with the Dremel. You can see I had a stone tip on there. I was just grinding away, getting all the little nooks and crannies. Getting in there. I painted the bottom. I painted these pieces. So I'll put that back together right now. And then, and I made the sheet metal out of it. Another free thing that I can do is clean up this basement. It is trashed. So I've got bowling today. I'm going to go bowling, and then when I come back, I think I'm just going to work on cleaning all this up. But for right now, I'm going to put that back together. Oh, and I'll show you when I put this in, I'll show you the molding that I put up. So here's the old box that it came in. This goes into the floor and stops air drafting through it. So I don't like it. I didn't feel like cleaning up. That's a lot of rust. I made a new one. I do sheet metal at work. That wasn't hard to do. Just some scraps from work. I'm sure the boss won't mind that I use the end pieces. You know, I've got my thing there. So it's going to sit like this. And this screw, I figured out that... Oh yeah, there's my nasty fingernail. I don't know, can you see it? Anyways. I tightened this up. And then this wouldn't move. So this has got to stay loose, or else every time I go to open it, it tightens it up. That's not cool. So, you know, you open it and close it. You let the heat from the downstairs up into the upstairs. You know. And that's it. Let's go put it in the floor. Alright, so it's in the floor. It matches everything. I like the little crackles. That spray paint was weird. The aerosol must have had something like acid in it, because you can hear it crackling as soon as you spray it, but then it just stops, you know, and then, so that was pretty cool. So this goes down into the kitchen, and if you don't want to be in the kitchen, you can just close it off. There were 2 springs in there, but I think the springs were attached to these little holes here and here, and that holds the downstairs one up. So here's the downstairs one. I don't need the springs to keep it open because this doesn't open or close, because there's drywall over the drywall over the plaster that's holding this in place. So when we tear the ceiling down, this will come down with it, and then I'll have to get some springs. But other than that, anybody in that bedroom up there can hear what's going on. I think, see, they had these hanging from there. I think maybe you could have closed it and opened it from downstairs. I don't see how that's possible. But, you know, here's the spring. Here's the spring. Doing. Goodbye. Yeah, so I'll back up. So yeah, so the heat from the kitchen goes upstairs. Not that there's heat in this house right now, but I'm looking to replace that bad boy with with the pellet stove. I gotta find one that fits a 50s diner theme though. Alright, so also in this room, I cut out some molding. That's the old wallpaper, so we'll leave that. Did it on the other side too. And I put some baseboards in. The baseboards, I know we were talking about doing things for free, but I did my own work. I bought some nice, I just cut this on a little angle, and I got the router in there instead of buying the baseboard. I tried to make it match this. This inside the wall is like 2 inches, but I just bought some 1x. This seems to match up pretty nice. So that'll get painted. That's more likely going to get painted. And then, but now that that's done, I'm done with this room. I lied. I'm not, oh, like the hair? I'm not done with this room. This is a door that I gotta, you know, I've been working on that project too. So after measuring and looking and finding the door that actually came off of that closet, I found it. It was not that door that Lady Dixon was working on. It was this door. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this and this off, and I'm gonna do a little layer of stripper. Woo, strip this paint right off, and then we'll sand it down. Okay, so we got a product test here because I've got 2 different products, and I decided let's try them both, and this is what we'll end up using going forward. So on the left, we got Citrus Strip and Varnish Stripping Drill. Yeah, whatever it's called. You can read it. Citrus Scent. These both claim to be low VOC. This is a safer formula. This is the Multi-Strip Back to Nature Advanced Professional Paint Remover. Chloride and MP free. Removes paint, varnishes, stain. Well, you can read it. You know, it's all right there. But I put a nice, good layer on. I didn't skimp out on either or. I don't have favoritism. I've been using the Citrus Strip, and it works. But I want to see which works better, and then whatever works better, that's what I'm going to go with in the future. So they both claim to like pull it right up, multi-layers, blah, 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 but nothing's as good as the good old EZ strip that they used to sell. That stuff would tear the hide off a pig. I'm telling you, that stuff was great. They don't make it no more. So maybe I'll have to go to Mexico and pick some up or something. I don't know. Let's give this a little while, see what happens. So here's the best stripper I have. And that'll get you, you know, this takes 30 seconds on screws. Just takes them right off, you know. I got to file the inside because that's not getting in there. I could grab, you know, a little death wheel and get that out like that. But, I mean, even little parts like this. I'm having trouble with that paint. It might be oil paint. It's just gumming up and then it heats up and oils up. But, you know, it takes the rust right off and everything. Getting down in there is going to be a chore, but whatever. Maybe I'll put it in the dip. But yeah, that's the best stripper I have. All right, so it's been 20 minutes on this door. Let's go get let me turn this. Did that, I don't know if that flipped. I hope it flipped. Grab a scraper. So first, we're going to try, because this is the first one I put on, the multi-strip. It's been 20 minutes. Let's just give it a little. Oh, okay, so we're down to the blue. I don't know how many layers. There's probably 6 layers on here. Let's not leave it. Oh, yeah, we'll just leave it on there. Whatever. Okay. Wipe this off. Hey, look. Paper towel. Just doesn't, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. All right, the citrus strip. Focus. Focus. Hi. Focus. Hey, we're focused. All right. Down to the blue. Okay. So we're down to the blue on both of them. So they're both, this is neck and neck, people. It's neck and neck. So I'll come back in, I don't know, I gotta leave for bowling. What time is it? 11 o'clock. When do I have to leave? I don't know. I'll come back in half an hour. I lied again. It has not been a half an hour. When I just wanted to come back and show you something else. So I painted it all on, and then I wiped my brush off. And it seems to, take a little bit off. All I was doing was cleaning my brush, just wiping it off. They both did the same job down here. What else I noticed was as I scraped this off, it was still pliant, so I spooged it back on, and I'll see if that takes that blue off. But on here, I didn't have enough of the multi-strip to spooge back on. So I'm going to scrape off this. I'm going to scrape this off. I'm going to reapply and see if I can get a second reaction out of it. Let's see. It's like icing a cake. So now scrape this off. Scrape. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is reapply. But I'm also going to scrape that off and put a new coat on the blue, and a new coat on the blue, scrape, and then come back in half an hour. I'm not lying this time. All right, so while we're waiting for that door, let's see what this looks like. Oh, the rust is gone. Just a little bit of Japanning on there. I'm going to take this over to the grinder and clean it up. See? Half an hour. I didn't lie this time. Am I in focus? This is ridiculous. Anyways. Alright. So I put a new layer on here. I put an old layer on here. And same with down there. So let's see if the old layer did anything. Trust me, that's not the same yellow as that. That is the next layer of paint. So this actually did do something. It's not really getting through it. Let's see what a new coat. New coat did get down to the next layer of paint. So we're down to the next layer. Hooray. Scrape. Ugh, this is gross. Anyways, let's see if the second, it did about the same. As in, it did something, but not much. All right, so let's see what the new one did. Oh, well, that didn't get straight down to the yellow. That's leaving some blue streaks there. So I would say that is the only time I've seen a difference in any of this doing anything. Okay. Pros and cons. You've got to know when to hold them. Oh, sorry. You got multi-strip, which the pro I saw was on the second layer, it stripped off a little more than this did. But where I all I did was wipe my brush off, it took a layer off. So you don't need that much of the orange stuff. Where I wiped my brush off here, it barely scraped off a lot. Or at all. So maybe you'll use less citrus strip, but I think I'm just going to use the heat gun. Just heat it up, scrape it off, maybe get a flap disc and just sand this sucker, because I'm not going to wait half an hour just to scrape off one layer of paint. It's going to take me half an hour to paint the door with it. Then it's going to take me half an hour to wait. Then I got to wait. Then I got to scrape it all. Oh, screw that. That's just too much work. So if you're stripping a door, the fastest way, well, layers of paint off of anything, the fastest way I would think to do it is to use your heat gun. And then maybe go with the citrus strip, but the heat gun's going to take it right off. So try to use that first. And then good old sandpaper and elbow grease. It's going to be more work, but it's going to take less time. And if you have less time for your project, because you have lots of projects to do, you know, just do that. So this video is getting really long, and I don't want to film any more of it. I'm just getting, you know, antsy. I just want to chill out, whatever. This is the boring part at the end of the video where I tell you to like and subscribe my videos. Like for my hair. Woo! This door is just going to sit here. I'm going bowling. It's more fun. Peace out, people.